Hey everybody, it's Charlie. Marvel just made a couple big reveals about what's happening with Avengers 4, Scarlet Witch and Vision, their spin-off TV series that's coming to the Disney streaming service, and finally revealed who Jude Law is playing during the Captain Marvel movie. It's a really big twist. So we'll do a new round of that IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a Marvel-related comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. Starting with the Scarlet Witch and Vision stuff, then I'll talk about Captain Marvel. So, if you guys didn't know what's going on, the Disney streaming service is getting a whole bunch of Avengers spin-off TV series after Avengers 4. It'll be the Avengers MCU actors reprising their roles for different types of stories. So even though a bunch of them are going to get made, not all of them will take place after the events of Avengers 4. The Loki TV series they announced is probably going to be a prequel because they don't want to undercut his death during Infinity War. But I think we can all assume that Scarlet Witch and Vision are probably going to come back during Avengers 4. Their series will take place after and would just be a continuation of the ongoing story that they've had in the background since Civil War. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on during Infinity War. They tried to give them their own little sub-story about their relationship and what it meant that she had to sacrifice Vision in order to save the universe, and how it still didn't work. Thanos was still able to use the Time Stone to rewind things and take the Mind Stone from Vision. They officially revealed that the title, though, is a bit of a reversal. We've been referring to it as the Scarlet Witch and Vision series because first they announced Scarlet Witch, and then a little while later they're like, oh, by the way, Vision is also going to be in the series too. Now Deadline is reporting that the official title Marvel has given the series is Vision and Scarlet Witch, so Vision gets top billing. Longtime comic book fans will recognize that that was the title of their first solo comic series together. It only ran for 2 volumes in the early and mid-80s, and it mostly focused on their relationship, but there were a couple big things that they did during that. The biggest twist of the first volume was mostly retconning her backstory so that Magneto was her and Quicksilver's father. Before the mid-80s, he wasn't, even though they'd been hinting at that in later X-Men titles around that time. But since the character was created, her backstory has changed a lot. So during that run, Magneto becomes her father. He vows to end his wicked ways. I'm going to be a good person now. I'm not going to be a villain anymore. Then the big twist of the second volume is what most people remember when they think of Scarlet Witch and Vision's relationship. That's the volume where she and Vision have twin babies. Remember, twins run in the family, but that was really all they did. There was no huge villain. It was all about family drama. And the funny thing that happened after that run is that the Marvel editorial team hated what Steve Englehart did with that. He was the writer that did those babies during the storyline. Marvel editorial absolutely hated that. They retconned it later during West Coast Avengers 51 and 52. That's where they revealed that her twins had not been real. They were just fragments of Mephisto's soul. So obviously it was a really big twist, but really it was Marvel's way of retconning that. So in present continuity, she never had any mystery children with Vision. The TV series, just like the comic though, will be them trying to reconcile their powers, their relationship, and the way the rest of the world perceives them. By the time they start working on the series, they'll have already gotten all the X-Men characters. Outside chance they try to canonize her as a mutant officially during the series. But Marvel has already kind of given her a lot of X-Men themed stories within the MCU, between what happened at Sokovia in Captain America Civil War with the accident and all the public hating her because of what she did.
No one dislikes you, Wanda.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's an involuntary response in their amygdala. They can't help but be afraid of you.
Are you?
My amygdala is synthetic, so...
I used to think of myself one way, but after this, I am something else. I'm still me, I think, but that's not what everyone else sees.
The whole idea of their characters is that they're so powerful and nobody really understands them fully, so they're just kind of wary about them. So the series will just be a continuation of that. And I think a lot of how crazy they go into comic book stuff just depends on how many seasons her series runs for. If it goes for multiple seasons, then we can start talking about Magneto, other X-Men stuff, maybe having more Quicksilver appearances if they want to do flashbacks, because unless they change something during Avengers 4, he'll still be dead when this series picks up. But like with any TV series, you have all that extra time. You can do mental flashbacks. She can remember Quicksilver. So there are ways to include him in the TV series without him being alive in present day. They haven't revealed who the villain's going to be or any other big plot details outside of what I just mentioned. So we'll probably hear a little bit more about that early next year as they're ramping up for Avengers 4. I would expect them to wait to start promoting those series till after they get done with that. But Captain Marvel, this is big news. They finally revealed that Jude Law is playing Yon-Rogg, not the original Captain Marvel from the comics. And now the plot makes a lot more sense. You rewatch that trailer and she talks about lost memories, not knowing where she came from. I'm not who you think I am. It all makes a lot more sense when the villain is pretending to be one of the heroes. We also found out that Carol Danvers' Kree name is going to be Vers. I don't know how they're going to pronounce this, but it's basically Danvers with the Dan cut off. So her learning about her human name will probably play into her discovering the truth that Yon-Rogg has been gaslighting her this whole time. So you rewatch the trailer in a more linear fashion and it goes down like this. Regular Air Force pilot Carol Danvers gets into an accident while investigating Yon-Rogg's Kree ship in Earth's orbit. They crash land and get into a fight. During that fight, the Psyche Magnetron explodes, giving Carol Danvers her powers or unlocking her powers, but it also knocks her out cold, and by the time she's woken up, Yon-Rogg has erased some of her pre-existing memories and lied to her about who she really is. He tells her name is Vers. Maybe they picked that name because part of her name tag on her jacket gets burned off, so that might be the funny inspiration for the Vers name. But because she doesn't have any memories, Yon-Rogg fills her with false memories, tells her that she's a member of the Kree Empire, she has a responsibility to serve them in Star Force because she has special powers. The Kree and the Skrulls are in the middle of this long-time ongoing war, so she just buys it and becomes a member of the team and starts taking out Skrulls one at a time. So part of the movie is them defeating the Skrulls like you see during the trailer. Talos is their leader, played by Ben Mendelsohn. He's definitely a bad person. But also part of the movie is Carol Danvers realizing that Yon-Rogg has been lying to her this whole time, reclaiming her identity and her true potential for power. We have our fingers crossed for a binary reveal, but notice how early in the trailer she seems less powerful when she's wearing the green Kree Star Force uniform. She's giving off blast, but she doesn't look nearly as powerful as she does when she's in her comic book Captain Marvel costume at the end of the trailer. So if you're not familiar with Yon-Rogg or the Psyche Magnetron, the Psyche Magnetron is just something that Yon-Rogg went around using trying to give people powers, so that's its only function in the comics. They might change that a little bit for the movie, but you can see how he wants to win the war against the Skrulls, and Captain Marvel represents this really big opportunity for him, like, oh wow, this super powerful person that I can trick into believing that she's a member of the Kree and use her to take down our hated enemies. What I'm expecting though is that we'll get a little bit more of that in the trailers. Obviously more of young Coulson and young Nick Fury, they'll have some fun with that. But here's the thing about all this though, they have made no mention of what they've done with the original version of Captain Marvel, if he's even a character in the MCU or if they're just omitting him entirely. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this Yon-Rogg Jude Law twist? It makes a lot of sense based on the way they pitched the movie. I mean, it's all about false memories, discovering the people have been lying to you. But when we get more footage, I'll start to do more breakdown videos. Leave your requests in the comments below. Congratulations, Crit Robbins, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Click here to learn why Marvel and Netflix just canceled Daredevil, and click here for that big Avengers 4 Infinity War event, all the reveals and the plot teasers. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.